Hello, family. Today I want to ask you a question. What is the Matrix? Because I know that we saw the movie and they always seem to plug into it. What is the Matrix? Some may say that it's the way you see the world, or it's the world outside of you, the world you live in. But what is the Matrix for real? Let's think about it in its most simplest terms, okay? What is a nation? What is a society? What is a democracy? What is a republic? What is a state, a country, a city, and a town? Do they really exist? Is there really a such thing as democracy? Is there really a such thing as a nation? Consider this. Can you have a nation without individuals? Can you have a state without individuals? If nobody lived in this country, would it be called a country? Would it have a name? Would it be divided into states, cities, and towns? Would it be? If no one lived on this planet, would it be called Earth? Would it be divided into countries? Would it be divided into religions? What is reality? What is the Matrix? The Matrix is how you see the world. We create this reality we live in. Okay? There is no such thing as a democracy. There is no such thing as a nation, as a society. There isn't. It's only what you create. The reason we live in a nation is because people work every day to create this nation. But what are we creating? Are you creating what you think the nation should be? Or are you creating what you've been taught to create? That's the question. What reality are you creating? So we process images and then we recreate. So you're going to recreate the world that you were taught to create. If you were taught that you have to have a nice car and a nice house, these are the things that until you can surround yourself with these things, you won't actually be happy because you have been taught that these things bring you happiness, because that's the reality that has been shaped for you. Okay? What you have to understand is the way to escape the matrix is to close your eyes. Stop seeing what you see. That's your question. What do you guys see whenever you look at me? What do you see? Do you see a man? A black man? Do you see a good-looking man? An ugly man? What do you see? Because when you're looking at me with your eyes, that's what you're supposed to see. You're going to fit me into whatever images you've been taught to fit me into. So if you said, hey, I think this guy is a black guy, well, you say that for an obvious reason, because you've been taught that any person with the color of my skin is a black guy. But I'm not black, right? I'm brown, I'm red, I'm orange, I'm all kind of colors, right? But this handsome thing, this ugly thing, how did I get to be one of those? What if what you're looking at is only a vessel? What if what you see is not me at all? What if when I look at you, I don't truly see you? What if you don't truly see you? Are you in love with yourself or your reflection? That's the question. Do you know who you are, or do you know who your reflection is? Huh? Because we see ourselves for who we want to be, while others see us as who we create, the person that we create. This is why people often try to apologize for their intentions. I didn't mean wrong. Doesn't matter what you meant. What image did you project? See, we'd rather judge others based on their actions, but then we ask to be judged based on our intentions. Why? Because we imagine ourselves being better. We don't like to take responsibility for ourselves. To take responsibility for your life is to be responsible for the space that you occupy, the space that you take up. So I'm gonna ask you a question. I want someone to try to, with me, try to feel your feet. Not with your hands, just imagine that they're there. If you're standing up, just imagine that your feet are way down there. And until I said imagine your feet, you weren't thinking about your feet at all. But be aware of your space. Be aware of your body. Be aware of the mass that you take up. Be aware of your matter, of your vessel. How much space do you take up? Now imagine, don't think arms and legs. Think energy. What type of attitude do you bring to work every day? What type of attitude do you offer yourself and the ones that you say you love? Always consider your space. That's what being conscious is, being aware of your surroundings. But don't become your surroundings. Make your surroundings become you. And that's how you shape your world. Do you guys realize that if you don't focus on something, it won't grow? The only reason that we're facing or we're after the things that we're after right now is because we're focused on it. Right? The only reason that a lot of us don't care that people die, that 200 people die, every hour, I believe, or every second or something crazy. The reason that we don't know that or care really is because we're not focused on it. But consider this. Imagine if your father died. All of a sudden it would matter because someone close to you died, someone within your reality. But understand, these 200 people that die every single minute, right? There's somebody's family member. There's somebody that loves them. But we don't consider that. You have to think larger than yourself in order to truly be conscious, because you can be anywhere if you really want to be, or you can just be trapped inside this vessel and see life how you've been taught to see it. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to try at least to undo what you've been taught? That you don't have to look at me and see a black man. You can look at me and see a soul, a person, a human being who wants to live just as much as you do. A person who wants to love just as much as you do. A person who deserves it just as much as you. How about we try that? Try looking at someone without seeing their vessel. Try looking at them through a blind eye. What would they look like then? Who would I be if you couldn't see me? Who would I be? We look exactly like the reality that we create. Everything that you look like, everything you aspire to be, could possibly be images that was given to you. But how do you know the difference unless you remove yourself from the imaging? And by doing that, I mean, stop thinking with the images you were given, okay? There are people who aspire to be great things, but few people become what they call a genius, okay? You don't have to be in a certain field to be that. A genius is someone who can think for themselves without the images that they have been given, without the information that they have been provided. They can create their own ideas and create their own thoughts, okay? Accept new thoughts, even though they've been programmed to a certain extent. Try to think with the genius side of you. Try to allow yourself to come up with your own ideas. You can read every book in this whole world and you still won't know who God is. Understand that. This infinite universe, or whatever we're calling God, you'll still not understand what it is. I'll show you. So we can take all the technology that we have in the world. We can take all the technology that we have in the world, right? And with all that technology, we could leave the earth with it, or we could destroy the planet with this technology that we have created. But we can't even tell you how this leaf is made. We cannot even break this leaf all the way down and tell you how it's made. That alone should humble you. That alone should humble us. We do not understand the world we live in at all. We do not understand the world we live in at all. We use this stuff, but we don't know what it is. Our reality is what's been given to us. Try to think outside the box. Matter of fact, throw the box out, period. Get rid of it. You don't need it. In order to truly be free, see the world the way the universe would see the world. Imagine going to a planet right now, fresh, and you see a planet that's divided just like our planet is. A planet filled with beings who argue amongst each other over beliefs, dress totally different, fight and actually kill each other over a simple way of life or a difference of opinion? What would you think upon arriving at that planet? Would you think which one of them is right? Or would you say there's clearly a problem? I think you would look at all this war and all this famine and say there's clearly a problem. You wouldn't try to go find which group of beings were correct and then try to force the other ones to be okay with it. You'd say, listen, regardless of who's right or wrong, does it really have to cost us our lives? Does it really have to cost you your lives? Is being right worth killing each other? Because at the end of the day, if you're dead, what does it matter who's right? To you and your world, what are you fighting for? If you die today, it's not going to matter. Live your life for you. Live your life for the universe. Allow yourself to be guided with your own thoughts, not someone else's. It's hard to do because we've been taught our whole life to do it differently, but something you got to practice on daily. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. I'm going to finish my workout. I hope everybody have a good day, and please consider what I said. I love you guys. Holla.